this is Tony.
This is Paul coming at you from the Friends for Life podcast.
And we're a go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Friends for Life podcast here on YouTube. If you can, help us out and go down below and hit that subscribe button. Tonight we'd like to welcome special guest Bret Langster. He is a worker in the field of developmental disabilities. He also is friends with Tony, and he customizes shoes with his own custom artwork. It's pretty awesome, so you're not going to want to miss this one. Let's dive right into it.
We got an awesome friend of mine. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Greetings. My name is Bret Langster. I am an awesome friend of Tony's.
Nice.
Yeah, but why are you my friend? Like, what do you do?
We ask everyone that. Why are you his friend? I ask myself that sometimes.
I ask myself that. Like, why do I even like me?
What I do is not necessarily related to why I'm your friend.
Okay, that's facts.
So, what I do, I'm an artist. I'm a customizer. I customize shoes and apparel. Why I'm your friend, I also have chronically bad judgment. So...
That makes two of you.
man, we've been down for a minute, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, you look back over it, it's been over
15 years or so, 10 to 15.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
when he was just a young Tony.
Yeah, I was a young cat, man.
Little baby.
Yeah, dude. Like people, especially people who I employ, do not believe what I used to look like.
I've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
Like Black Shaggy.
Yeah. the long hair, just like big baggy clothes. The perfect way to throw it out there. But like, yeah, I mean, we go back that far, and I definitely I'm happy that I've got to know you, and we develop a friendship throughout all these years. And been able to see not only you grow as a person, but your family. You know, you were just talking about your daughters and stuff, and I haven't seen them in a minute. So I mean, I know they're getting bigger. It's
like,
culture shock, not even culture shock, age shock. I think
culture shock, because it doesn't work with your kids. You know, you see your kids grow.
Yeah.
But other people's kids, you're like, what the? What you been feeding them kids? You know? But, yeah, my daughters, man, I got one. Well, my son, you know, my son is about to be 30, or he's 28 years old.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? And then I got Anaya just got into college. She's at UT. She's moved out the house.
Now that's the real deal.
Nala's the youngest. Nala's 14, but Nala's built like she should be balling somewhere. But
she don't want to do that.
NBA for her stands for no basketball ability.
Hey, me too.
No, really?
You ever seen White Men Can't Jump?
That's me. You basketball challenged?
Yeah, I'm challenged in most.
But he's good at podcasts and all that.
Yeah,
I don't even know about that.
This is.
I just got Tony fooled.
Right.
He's tricked me. Oh man, but so that I mean. I'm soon to be at that level. You know, my oldest right now is 17. He'll be 18 in September of 2020. But he's a senior now in high school, so he'll be graduating come this summer. And it's
so he's like, riding the line.
Yeah.
I just told my daughter not too long, a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about something. I was talking about her relationship with her mom, and she was like, you know, that's how teenagers are, and blah, blah, blah. We are full of angst. And I was like, if you're old enough to use the word angst properly, then you are old enough to know that what you said is straight BS. You know what I'm saying? Once a teenager is old enough to start giving you proper rationalization, then you know, you be like, nah, then you know better.
Right. Then
you know better. But that's what I'm saying. They gonna try to ride that line between I know everything to I'm just a kid. Mm-hmm. I'm just a kid
playing both sides of the
that
card.
knows everything.
They're a kid when they are in trouble.
Yeah,
money
when it's convenient.
Need a couple bucks.
As soon as you tell them, like, I need you to wash some dishes. Like, really? Those your dishes? Like,
come on, man. Yours do that too?
Yeah, man. Like the dish game.
I didn't even dirty up that dish.
Yeah, but see, he's stuck in a cycle right now because he thinks that because he goes out and works and then comes home like I feel for you.
Well,
it's like, bro, pay a bill. If it's that deep, you can pay a bill.
We'll give you some leeway on the dish duty once you start paying the electric.
Right.
You know, because that's the biggest one. My whole house is electric. Like, yeah, take that, homie. I'll wash the dishes for you. You can see, you walk in, I'm how was work, honey?
I work too, you know.
Yeah.
Man, my daughter. My daughter worked for y'all. She's an artist too. Okay, this is my middle child, Anaya. She's going to college for art. So while she was in school, they have a young artist working program. So she would go up to the art museum, and they would do art, commissioned art pieces. They did street lights. They did some bus stop seats and stuff.
Okay.
But different things around the city. And she went and bought some gear like this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking a nice DLR and just
getting her stuff together.
And I want to take some picture of my shoes. And I was like, man, I don't want to use this phone. I got my daughter here with this sweet camera, and she was like, "Nah, Dad, I don't want you using my. I don't want you using my camera." I was like, "What?" I was like, "You don't even have." I was like, "Give me a good excuse, a good reason." What I was like, you know what I'm saying? Without me, there be no you. She was like, "Well, you got that bold Android phone, and you probably don't know how to take good care of fine technology."
She's used the fine technology.
I was like, oh my God, I was so irritated because she's too old to put on punishment. She don't, you know what I'm saying? She don't live at the house anymore. I was just like,
with that Popeye match.
Man.
Oh man.
Like you should let me use whatever I want.
Whenever I want.
Yeah.
Now I don't even ask. I just go in my son's room and I
take what you want.
Dude, I was about to take some of his shoes the other day because it made me feel bad because he keep them so crispy that I'm like, man, I trash these right now. It's raining outside. I got to walk through mud and they all white. Special editions and stuff.
My daughter was looking at pictures. Old video. Mm. And she was like, Daddy, I was watching some old video of you, at family functions and stuff. Her mom had it. And she was like, dang, Daddy used to be able to dress.
Used to. Oh, my God.
Savage.
Yeah, that's harsh.
The backhanded compliment, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I had gear before I had kids.
Right.
I was your age once.
I used to match
I could afford
my underwear to my shoes and my shirt.
That was a real thing.
Fitted. Yeah, coordinated.
I honestly, man, to this day, I still have some of those tendencies in me.
You still match your underwear to your shoes?
At least to my shirt.
Nice.
Like it's coordinated. All I need, I'm like John Weather. All I need is a mushroom belt. That's all I need.
Oh man,
coordinated.
So, hey, going back to what we said, like we've known each other for quite a long time. But how we got to meet was through the field of what back then was called MRDD, but we've sliced the MR off of it, and we just say the DD. So through the DD field, and the majority of the podcast is always representing the world. I don't ever want us to look as if we're just singling out one thing, because in order for the DD field to grow through other people, it needs to be explored by everyone. Yeah. So if you could tell me a little bit of your experience in the field that you enjoyed and also what you did not like.
Okay.
Yeah, blast. I put you all the way on it.
Well, I got into the field without knowing it. My grandparents, they were managers of a senior citizen complex, a high rise in Detroit. And at an early age, I'm gonna say 9 or 10. First of all, they raised me up, from a hatchling, and so I became Little Feet, and so that was the term. Let Little Feet do it. You know what I'm saying? If you needed something.
You know that's your new nickname, right?
No, don't. My new nickname is gonna be Tyson. You call me Lil Feet. No, but yeah, whatever needed to be done. If somebody needed help, I was helping them. Yeah, they Meals on Wheels and stuff. I'd go to push carts around, deliver stuff, run errands, and a lot of people don't know that. People dealing with dementia, senility, or whatever, just the things that come along with old age, they're similar. They have similar behavior as the demographic we serve.
Right. So
I would be cool with people and that would be throwing chicken bones at me, like I'd push, hey, Miss Carter, how you doing? And scram. Get it, I beat you with my slipper, Whoa, I just brought you some meatloaf. I know it's not some Salisbury steak. That's what it was. Salisbury steak with the painted on, the painted on black stripes.
Dude, that just tastes good.
It does taste good. I used to smash him. I used to be like, why are people complaining?
Yeah, why are y'all mad? This is a great dinner here.
Look at these painted on stripes.
That's what I had before I showed up.
Really? That was my man. Some Salisbury. But I really liked it. I really liked that I was helping people out. Then that transitioned into me working at a group home in Inkster. Okay. And soon after that, I was doing other things, and then I moved to Toledo, and it became the easy job. Gotcha. It became the easy. I was like, well, I got experience in this. You know what I mean? Let me. A guy I was playing semi-pro football for the Seminoles, Toledo Seminoles, and a guy on my team, you know Chandler.
Oh yeah,
Chandler hit me to this here in Ohio.
Oh man, he put you on.
Yeah. He put me on with Marouche, and that's what it is.
And anybody watching who doesn't know what Marouche is, just do your research. You will see what has transpired and what happened.
Yeah,
we're not gonna go in there that deep, but yeah, it gets deep.
So your other question, what do I like and what do I dislike about the field? What I like mostly is we are helping people. That's what I like in general. What I dislike about the field is how undervalued people who are helping people are.
I get that.
We, the people who work directly with individuals dealing with developmental disability, we make up a demographic within ourselves. And it's hard to see one demographic get served. And I mean, it's a good thing to see because since I've been in the field, just the perspective has been, just everything is elevated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's good to see. But what stayed stagnant is how staff are viewed, And I tell everybody it takes a very special person to work with the people we work with.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it doesn't have like a special
that connection
criteria. There's not a degree. There, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's nothing. Anybody can do it.
Because it's funny that you even say that. When you mention the degree part, that I've literally been around people who have degrees and who are in this field and they work in higher positions, but will not do any direct care. And they will say it to your face, like I'm not built for that.
It's a goal almost. It's like a sub goal.
Yeah.
Stay out of direct. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost disheartening to know that, like, okay, a person who's going to be here in this person's life, but won't even come and take care of them if needed.
Yeah, but they won't be there in that person's life.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
True. You know, they'll have some control over a aspect of it, but they're not going to actually integrate themselves.
Do you think the degree just adds a sense of entitlement at some point to a higher? I mean, not even a higher standard, but like entitlement to not do something.
It definitely does, especially in this field. What I feel is there should never be a supervisor or a social worker who has not done
some hours.
Yeah. I think you need to have at least put in 2 hours of 2 years of full-time work in direct care before you have any position above direct care. Like it makes no sense to me because anybody who knows me, I do not have a college degree, and
I've got an associate's, which is
nice.
Listen, that's
that's better than. Well, I was so disappointed because when I decided, I was like, hey, I'm going to take up a course, and I decided to take social work. Now, I did this after I've already been in this field for 8-9 years or so. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. And just the first course I was taking, I'm like, this is complete yum.
Yeah.
Like this is this is bull.
You're the ringer. You're the ringer. You like you know
how are you going to tell me that this is not how you treat people? Like this is not facts.
The funny thing is my uncle has a business.
You all are lying.
My uncle has a business. He's had it since he was like 16 years old. He started pushing a lawnmower around, grew into a giant landscape business, snow removal now, and all this. He's invested in all these other companies. And he told me he went to college. He signed up for the courses. He sat in a couple of classes. He's sitting there and he's like, "Wait, how much am I going to get paid if I get a degree in this?" They're like, "Oh, X $1,000 a year." He's like, "No, I'm good. I make more than that already." He walked out and never went back. He tells me that story all the time. And I have a degree, a 4-year degree, and if I could go back, I would not go to college.
Yeah.
Waste of money. I could do what I'm doing right now with no degree.
It's crazy that they'll give you at 18, they'll give you $200,000 at least to go to school.
I know people who are in their 50s right now that are still paying off their school.
You're looking at one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And they will send you documentation that says you owe us like 11 cents, sir.
Yeah.
You still owe us 11 cents.
And if you don't pay it by next month, it's going to be $2.
Yeah. I mean, man, it's terrible. And I did that for an associate's.
Not to say that a degree isn't valuable. Like, you don't want a doctor without a degree.
Yeah. And I always tell people, there's certain people in my life I need to have a degree.
Yeah.
The doctors, my CPA, or, my attorney.
But not your social media guy.
No, shit, man. You could have came in here butt naked.
I'm actually homeless.
You're cool. You're cool.
That's good enough for me.
You're just carrying around microphones and stuff. GoPros.
Right.
You need some podcasts, man?
I got these podcasts, bro.
I got your hookup.
Right here.
All I need, you got that Wi-Fi? You got that Wi-Fi.
Hey, that sounds like something like that's gonna be on the. That's probably on the next Bad Boys.
Somebody
Selling that Wi-Fi.
Oh man, we got people going out to see that next weekend. But speaking of that, you know, it's funny enough because you and I we had lunch one day,
right,
and we were discussing like who kind of broke the field in a little bit. And just the other day, on another episode, I was talking about how I take the Gary V approach. Shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk. Hopefully I said your name right, man, because I just want you to shout me out too. Just Tony Stewart, remember. But I take that like it's my fault situation. And, you know, and if you remember, I said, like, I think it's our fault that our younger generation of DSPs and our younger generation of people in this field don't want to really engage as much as not only just the company wants to, but as the client wants to, you know. And
we'll see. It is my opinion that over time, people evolve in order to protect themselves. Protection is, you know, survival of the fittest.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And so, because direct care staff and staff in general, not like, I'm not saying you have to be in the home. Same thing with people who work in day hab and all that. You have a generation that has come up listening to these stories. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they've also entered the work field. You know what I'm saying? Because of mom works here, or dad did this, or I'm in school and I need some cash, but so I think the natural progression is a separation, a distancing. If I'm going to be treated like that, we as human beings and employees will find a way to balance things out. Okay? So if that's still in toilet paper, you know what I'm saying? If it's eating up food, they will find a way to make themselves feel like the give and take is more equal. Right. And I'm not saying it's right, but it is a natural thing. It's a protection. So, you know, when you go into it and you hear all these horror stories that this is what happened, and not only was I, you know, I come in, I tell my kids, not only was I called this racial slur and spit at and punched and bitten, afterwards I got to be interviewed and grilled and told that I wasn't beaten up properly. You know what I'm saying? And then after I was told I wasn't beaten up properly, I got taken off the schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And let me clarify a few things for a little bit.
Yeah,
Paul,
I was like,
Paul and any other viewer. Okay, whenever you're in a scenario of what is called an MUI in our field, a major unusual incident, you have to go through an investigation. Now, these investigators are like the police of our field.
But there are also like the people we were just talking about, people who had not worked. Yeah,
a lot of them probably have not worked in the field as DSPs. Now, luckily enough, nowadays some have changed because I do know a few people that are in there who they understand a little more. But the majority is exactly how Bret has put it. It's you are almost scared to, like, okay, let me give an example. If you have a individual that you're working with who might have a problem with certain sounds, you go out into a community, have a good time, you're having a good time, but by whatever reason, that sound happens. Now, that can make that person agitated. Now, that agitation might lead to that person doing something that can either hurt, harm himself or others, which will lead to an MUI. Now, once that MUI comes, they're going to sit and they're going to ask, just because he's here, Bret, what did you do to help negate this situation?
Right.
Or what did you do to help prolong this situation? How did you keep the individual safe? How did you keep the community safe? And for a long time, it was like, okay, what about me? Like, I was the one that
like you were supposed to be some superhero, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, sir, why didn't you do this instead of this? And it's not, you're a person, and you don't even know what sound.
Yeah.
When it happened, you don't know what happened. But somehow you're supposed to write this up in this cohesive way that says that you kept the client safe, that you kept the community safe, but nobody asked how safe you are.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
because you're like the,
and you can be obviously unsafe. You could be beaten and battered. And yet and still no one addresses that, or that was the norm. So I'm saying, that story gets passed on, and those people grow up and they're like, okay, I'm doing this, but I'm not about to
put myself in that
I'm
situation.
not about to do that.
Yeah.
It's almost, you're gonna have the most trouble out of your youngest child. Because your youngest child is
taking it all in.
Taking it all in. Taking it all in. And they're going to come there, and when they get a certain age, they're going to be like, not me. I'm not going to be the one. And so you have these people that are entering the field that are like, I'm not going to be the one.
Yeah.
I'm not about to put my... They've been on both sides. They've also been the kid that has felt like they're being neglected while their parent is giving what they feel is their best to these people
to work.
Yeah, to this. Yeah.
Dude, I'm so happy that you're on to take, because it goes full circle like that.
Yeah.
Like, we spend and have spent so many more hours with the individuals that we worked with versus our home life.
Man.
So I mean, I get it and I understand when my wife is sometimes like, dude, you're never home. You never do this. You never do that. And I tell my staff all the time, like, you can't imagine how many recitals I've missed, how many dances or this, that, and the other that my kids have had that I've missed.
And this may make you feel better. I haven't. And I still get it. I haven't. When I've sat down and talked to my kids, because I don't like them to, I've got, my son is grown. I got 2 daughters, and for some reason, they will give you the emotional signs that something's wrong, and that's it. And then what's wrong? Nothing. Well, something's wrong because you got an ugly face.
Right.
Why are you talking to me?
People tell me that all the time.
What's wrong with you?
No, I'm just ugly, bro. Sorry.
I'm just wearing what God gave me.
But man, we had to sit down. It's been months, but it seems like yesterday. And the fact is, I was there. When you had swim meets, I was there. When you had little plays that weren't really plays, I was there. You know what I'm saying? When you had birthday parties, I was there.
Right.
Now
that's good. And the only thing that I want to say was the difference between that is our long-term goals. Because, mine was to be this. So... even if I did go to the recital or the dance or the screen, on the phone, and my last kid's birth.
But what I'm saying is,
hold on, you got to hear this.
Go ahead.
You got to hear this.
Yeah, go ahead.
My last son's birth, I was filling shifts on a BlackBerry while my wife was pushing. She crowned.
Whoa!
I saw his head.
You just saw the corner.
And I was still there sending emails.
Okay.
I was in it.
Did you videotape it?
No. At that point, that fifth kid, we were done with videotapes.
Right.
You lucky if you got a picture.
Right. I don't have any photos before I was 13.
Just show them a
But
picture.
I tell you this, all my shifts was covered. all my documentation was put through. So I mean, it's different strokes for different folks. As it's said, but I definitely understand and feel what you're.
But what I'm saying is, we're still in the same boat. That's what I'm saying. That's it. Because I still get that. I still like, you were never home. Wait a minute. And man, somebody coming at you like that, and then you be like, listen, I got photo documentation.
Like
me being home all the time. Somehow. Now what?
Did you have food? Did you have clothes?
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I did it. I made sure I did it. It was important to me.
Yeah, that's good.
And so, sometimes the point of what I'm saying is don't go back and be like, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, I mean you can't.
That's what you got a wife for.
Yeah, thank you. She will let me know.
She'll give you the business. She will give you the business. You know what I'm saying? But you had a focus, and primarily, I bet your family was the catalyst of your focus.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I really think that most people have that drive in them just for themselves at points. Like Paul here. Paul doesn't have
anything.
He does. Yeah, right. This man, I swear, if there's 24 hours in a day, he works 26 of them.
Right.
Wait, what?
But yeah, he doesn't have a kid, but he goes all in. And I'm sure if he had a kid, it would just magnify that. And that's what I see a lot of people do. They do it misguided sometimes, because I know people who will quit a job because it's not super convenient. But I'm not going to choose between a job and my kid. Like, okay. Yeah, that's weird. But it did help, because there was no position that I saw myself in to support a wife and 5 children in the DSP field, other than me owning something.
Yeah.
I
Real
had
talk. That is.
I had to go that route, but that was secondary, because this has always been a long-term dream of mine, but I would have never pushed for it as hard as I did. And then like what we talk about on a lot of the other episodes, me getting fired. Like when I got fired just too many times.
Right. But you know what though, Tone? You've always had that hustle, the hustle gene, and people. I kind of don't like calling it the hustle gene, because hustle seems like you're getting over on people.
Yeah,
but
that's how some take it.
Yeah, I mean it in a positive way.
I know, and I feel you.
Where you've always gotten something you like, coals in the fire. You know what I'm saying? I need to be doing something, and even though man, I'm 100 years older than you. As as a young cat, that was something that I thought was very admirable, and I was like, okay, all right, hip hop is not dead. We gonna be okay, because I'm of age now, where people that my peers are just. We starting to just complain about stuff.
Yeah.
And
we do our share of complaining over here.
But I'm telling, just like you seeing, and it's a little disheartening. You seeing these young people come up and they seem a little distant. They're a little disassociated, And the natural tendency is to be like, we going to hell in a handbasket.
Right.
It's all get in this handbasket right here and go to hell. Like,
going to hell.
Going to hell.
Well, do you think part of that though is like specifically my generation and younger? I mean, I'm 30 now. I'm no spring chicken.
This dude just said I'm 30.
30.
My pant size is bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? It's older.
You're missing the point here, okay? I'm trying to make a point.
Okay.
We got my generation and younger is what you lump into the millennial thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up.
And technically, I am. Like,
Are you?
Yeah, on the technical side.
So you 80. You're 80 something, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
85.
Okay, 85.
So we're lumped into this group, and I mean, I don't know anybody that works harder than Tony. I don't like a lot of like in this generation group. We just get this lump of, yeah, you're all just lazy and all you do is go on Facebook and cry. I honestly think that we get this bad rap because everything's so visible now.
Yeah.
You do something stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows about it. And so people are a lot more guarded. People are a lot more like...
What it is man,
hands
there's
off.
There's all these levels of the okie doke. It's a Houdini. Man, social media is not social. It's it's antisocial. Social media causes great distance because you have, if you look, these people who have come up on social media, put them in a room together, and they may not be able to have a conversation like this. Now,
I don't know about that.
Not all. No, I'm saying,
I think it's even the generation
my kids don't
younger.
Play. They didn't play outside much. That their mother didn't want them playing outside. She didn't want to go outside. She didn't want to follow them. But they had a playground app. You know what I'm saying? Not really. They didn't really have a playground app. But hey, real talk. They got a Duck Goose app.
Man, my kids watch other kids play video games.
My kids watch. Oh man, I could just strangle them.
I'm like, dude, you sit here for an hour. How can you sit for an hour watching other people play a game?
Hey, but in fairness, people are watching us just talk for an hour, so...
No. Nope.
Continue watching.
No.
But my kids need to stop.
Man, I'm telling you, man, real talk. If my kids would have told me that, what we really want to do is watch other people play video games, I could have saved my money on that video game I bought.
Bought a YouTube subscription with no commercials and be like, bam,
boom, there you go. Watch PewDiePie.
I'm just being the antagonist here. I'm just saying,
you are.
the younger generation has a different outlook because things are way different.
Things are different.
Way different.
But you don't need to defend your, like, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that I grew up, I was Generation X. Okay? We cared that
they call you latchkey kids.
We didn't care. We didn't care about anything, and we were the generation that was going to lead the world to utter chaos. Yeah.
Well, it worked.
Yeah. No. So you talking about? I'm just saying. Talking about a bad rep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, every generation gets that bad rap.
So this is how I put it.
Go ahead.
I tell my boys, when we are sitting and chilling and talking about how music sucks, you know what I'm saying?
That'll never end.
So they're like, man, this music, man, nowadays it sucks, man. The mumble rappers, you can't hear them. I said, man, I had a dude my age be like, man, I wish music had the substance that it had when we grew up. And I was like, when did you grow up, sir? Because I think you may be romanticizing things because I grew up with 2 Live Crew. Okay? Throw That Dick is not substance. Okay? It is not. There was some stuff, but you romanticizing it all.
Right.
Okay? Well, I grew up you go to Detroit, and they put on Chuck. And Chuck is a classic. And you know the words to Chuck?
Chuck, 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 Chuck. That's it.
Chuck, Chuck, Chuck. That's it.
That's the whole thing.
Elevator up, down,
Down.
up, down. Elevator up, down. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna school you today.
That's not substance. You know what I'm saying? So you are romanticizing stuff. And your mother, she was like, turn that bibbity bobbity boop stuff off. Okay? But what you don't realize is that your grandmother was like, turn that bibbity bobbity boop stuff. You know what I'm saying? That Motown stuff.
That's the whole point I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
And
what you just said is
what you don't realize
to.
is that your great grandmother was like, turn that jazzmatazz off. That's the devil's music.
Thank you. We met in the middle. Yeah, that is the point I was coming to.
That's the progression of things.
Everybody's generation has the generation under them is just the worst thing ever.
I think we're going to be fine.
We're definitely going to be fine.
Well, we will, because everybody's going to grow. Everybody's going to learn. Some research that I've seen before, and shout outs to Valuetainment for some of this, that it's a big circle. Mm-hmm. It's a big circle of, if somebody's, okay, let's say a generation is having a hard time right here. Mm-hmm. The next generation is going to kind of have a better time because they got to work through that hard time. But it's going to make this generation stronger, which is going to make this next generation have good times. And this generation is going to have such good times that they're not going to want to work as hard. Yeah. So it's going to come right back down in the circle. It's the reason. It's just a revolver.
Yeah, it's the reason why you can't have a perfect society.
Exactly.
You can't.
Who would have thought you at 18 would be here right now?
Oh.
Not even you.
No.
Whoa. So that's what I'm saying. Like
that 18. Woo.
Well, you came in the game like 20.
Well, I was about 18. No, I was 18 when I got in. Mm-hmm. But my mindset was not on that, because honestly, at 18, I thought I was going to own a Burger King. Like that's where I was
specifically.
Like really? Because I
kind of wish you did own a Burger King.
Dude, it would be so. Tell Jason, man. Jason. I know you're watching
Jason's
this right now.
Jason's the guy who edits all our videos.
Yeah, Jason, you're watching this right now. We need to go back to that Burger King that we worked at and buy it.
Let's do a podcast with you and Jason at Burger King.
That'd be funny.
Oh, I love it, because we can explain where all these little holes and dots and stuff came from. Dude. They remodeled it. It's like different. But
I used to work at Burger King.
Dude, BK was the best. But anyway, like that was like my first professional job at 15. And when I did it, my dad always taught me, if you're going to do something, learn every part of the operation, and then do it yourself. Own it. Mm-hmm. That was my mindset. So by 17 and a half, I was a manager in training. Like, I don't even think I think they said they never had a manager that early on. And they had to wait till I was 18 till it happened. Well, as soon as I turned 18, I'm kind of money hungry at the time. I go and get a factory job at I'm gonna leave that place undisclosed. Right. But anyway, I go there. 4 days was all I lasted. Yeah. Like, nah, bro, this is not for me. The calluses, the 2 15-minute breaks and 30. Oh no, that ain't, I need leniency.
I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
I need day-to-day changes. I can't just do this all day. I can't even do that when I work out. Like, dude, I need to switch it up.
Listen, man, I did a nice little stint at Ford.
Oh, man.
And being from Detroit, job at the Big Three, that's your dream job. Mm-hmm. And it was, I made like somewhere between $80,000 and $90,000 a year as a single man with one child, which is why I stay coordinated. You know what I'm saying? I could afford it, but it was the worst job I've ever had in my life.
I worked at a concrete factory making $70,000 a year. Hated it. Working 80 hours a week.
Yeah, man,
the worst. I had more money than I ever knew what to do with. Had no time to do anything. Hated it.
No time, no energy. You know what I mean? I remember not being able to pick my son up because between my shoulder blades was just sizzled. Mm-hmm. And they worked me the same job for 6.5 years.
Oh my goodness.
In a factory, in a union,
Same thing.
6.5, same when they're supposed to rotate you every 6 months. But they couldn't find anyone to do the job fast enough.
Oh wow.
There were times where I couldn't get a break because the relief man couldn't do the job and keep the line rolling. So they have to wait till another relief person comes in so 2 people could give me a break. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They worked me that till my forearm caved in. And then they said I was unfit for plant work.
Wow.
3 years, because of due process, it's union. 3 years, they say, hey, Bret, come in. We want to talk to you. We're going to offer you your job back. I said, sweet, because, I heard they had made the job a 4-person job or 3-person job, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the stipulation is you got to go back to doing what you were doing, and you got to do it yourself.
Whoa.
So that was just a industrial corporate finger. Mm-hmm. And that's what I gave them. I was like, man, I see why people, and it's, I don't want people to misconstrue. But you hear about people going up in plants. You used to hear about, going postal on people.
Well, you can see why
you think because the spin
way.
is that this person just lost it and they were a bad person. But there's a lot of evil stuff that's going on in those environments.
And this actually makes me want to rewind just a little bit to what we were talking about on how you felt about the field. Us as men in the field is very limited.
Extremely limited.
When it's so limited, they put us in a situation which some people can't mentally do, nor physically do. Mm-hmm. To handle certain situations that can be dangerous.
Yeah. And what do you mean by that?
So, let's say we have a client who can be combative.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They would put me with that client versus a female counterpart because I'm the bigger looking of the bunch. Mm-hmm. But let's
intimidation.
Say, it's not used as, it's not on paper as intimidation, but it's the mindset.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna if we're gonna keep it 100% real, you're blackmail.
Yeah, blackmails are.
Listen, I'm just getting into a point where I can relax in my job. My whole 20 years of this has been being the enforcer or being put out there as the enforcer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a friendly, silly guy.
You've even been told that before by somebody we know.
Yeah. Yes. You built like a worker.
You built like a worker.
That's what he told me.
Oh, God.
He told me that. I said, why am I always doing? He was like, well, you built like a worker.
What's that supposed to mean?
And that means I should find another gig. That's how I took it. I'm like, man, but that's, I got in. I used to work for Line Industries, you know what I'm saying? I got in because I was getting, when I started as a sub, I was getting 17 hours a week. And they were like, well, you can get more hours if you want to, but I can get you more hours. We want to put you on the stat team. So the stat team is
I was on the stat team.
When somebody is, you get to run around.
Yeah,
and stuff. That part was cool. Like I needed that GoPro right here. You know what I'm saying? But the stat team is whenever somebody is getting violent, then they call stat. You run, you to the rescue, and you're supposed to be able to handle these situations. And that was my whole way in, and I never got out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's terrible because to this day, I see people who are probably have some intrepidation. They're probably a little fearful of me, like, oh man, because their interaction with me wasn't pleasant.
Mm-hmm. And let me even interject on that, because back when we were on the stat team and stuff, the rules were a lot different on how to interact with individuals. There were different kind of restraints used that are no longer legal or available today.
Right.
Which we understand could scare somebody who's in a certain in a certain state of mind.
To put it in context, it's kind of like you have you gone back and watched like 70s TV, and you know where they say the N word and everybody's like.
Yeah, just chuckling.
Like a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, and like my kids are always like, "What?" I'm like, "It was cool.
Yeah,
you could do it back then. The things we did were approved things. You know what I'm saying? And but it sets you up. You're the enforcer.
Yeah,
you're the black male. You're the enforcer. You're here to make people think that, oh, I better stay in line. And that's another one. That's another aspect I really don't like.
Yeah,
I really don't like being utilized in that way, because it's something I still notice. You know what I'm saying? When I'm out and about and I see folks.
Well, the only reason I kind of disagree is because personally, being a black male, I know how many people I tried, because the community I grew up in was inner city Toledo, but a lot of people had terrible records by the age of 18 and 19. Like, I tried to bring people onto the field, but by the time, even at 18 and 19, people already had felonies and couldn't do it. So I would rather them do that as an enforcer versus something else being an enforcer.
I feel you.
Now,
I mean,
and then adding to that, it's all of our responsibilities to continue to grow and learn. I think that, yes, being the enforcer is not the best thing to do, because that's where I started. Now, I mean, you know me back then. I was not the size that I am now. No. Not even close.
He's like, listen, buddy, you better cut it
stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah. I mean, I wore 4Xs.
That's not how he sounds now? Wait. Sorry, I'm confused.
He does mimics too, like spot on.
Just knock it off.
You better quit it. But
Tony on the stat team.
I mean, what y'all forget, man? I wrestled. I took jiu-jitsu, karate, and all that. So I mean, you ain't go look. Even I remember, man, my very first fight.
Do a backflip right now.
If I need.
Man,
look, show the video of me doing the backflip right now. Yeah, we're gonna show that.
Oh,
okay.
man,
I'm joking. That ain't gonna happen.
Real talk. I might be able to, but
like, I mean, off a heel, I might be able to. Straight ground, no.
Right, I feel you.
Them days is
my
done.
plantar fasciitis.
I mean, I was just squatting like 350 today, but no,
I'm not doing it.
I don't know if I could push myself up enough. But anyway, like, I would prefer we deal with that type of problem versus the other type of problem of unemployment and stuff. But yeah,
my argument would be not argument, but my side is sometimes we take healthier and make it healthy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's not healthy.
Fair enough.
It's still not healthy.
I got you there.
You know, it's healthier than this. I was talking to a friend, someone who has drug problems. And they were like, every day I got to have my wine and my cigarettes, and you know what I'm saying? And it's good because it keeps me from doing worse stuff.
Yeah.
Harder drugs. And I said, okay, well, what you did, you just took some things that are really bad for you, and in your mind, you made them healthy.
Because they're better.
Yeah, because they're better.
Other bad things.
Yeah, they're not as bad.
I see what you're saying.
And it's still unhealthy because you're not being real with yourself. Because the reality, no matter how you look at something, your perspective doesn't change reality.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the reality is that if you choose to, you offering yourself with these squares and this wine every day.
Yeah.
You go through a bottle of wine every day.
Oh. See, I like wine, but
I mean,
a whole
gives me
bottle
heartburn.
every day.
I don't like wine. Yeah, I'm not a. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
It gives me headaches.
I prefer wine.
But every day, you know what I'm saying? A bottle.
Just replacing something bad with something.
And a couple of packs of squares.
Yeah.
You smoking 40 squares in a day?
Especially the smokes, man. I
did it.
I lost my mother to smoking, and like there's no other thing out there that I grew up with more than half of my life, other than alcohol, that I saw take someone away from me. So I hate it. You know, the alcohol portion, I don't think I have a family member who's really like passed away from it, like any real
but that kind of stuff you hide. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff can get swept under the rug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like more drinking, unless you like my uncles. My uncles. Like
if they go hard,
they used to go hard. My uncle, my Uncle Tom was cool. Super cool, and I swore up and down he was a werewolf or a vampire or something because as a young kid I didn't understand about drinking and how it changed. You know, it takes time because he'd be super cool up until like 4 or 5:30, and then it kick in. And you walk by, he'd be like, "Come here, you love my wife." Oh no! He turned into a monster again.
Man,
I don't know that liquor and the smoking is cool, but it's not cool.
It's like you do what you do, but you need to be able to. Moderation. I think you and I, Paul, we didn't discuss many a times how moderation is the thing to do. I mean, this year my great granddad will be celebrating his 100th birthday.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
And just not this January, but last January in 2019, we got to bring all the great grandkids to him, and we got pictures and stuff of them all together. Like, there's no way of being able to show that joy to all those generations together. And we definitely got to show, man, because my son Mason, he was the only one crying in the picture. Everybody got all these big son. No, second to youngest, but he's
all these people.
No, he was mad. They were doing something out in the patio that he shouldn't have been doing. I told him to stop, and we were about to take a picture, and he didn't want to. Man, I love him so much, but he's a lot like me.
Oh man,
him and my daughter, like they have my type of.
Those are the
don't listen to anybody, Gene.
Yeah,
isn't that weird
much.
though? Isn't it weird how it's the ones that are like you, most of the time, the ones that are like you. The ones that you want to turn inside out.
Like, is this how everybody else feels about me?
Right.
Yes.
right.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's kind of ego.
His truth.
Yes, we do want to turn you inside out. Yeah.
But hey, man. So now that we have went through so much of the DD field, you have been working on some projects of your own, and now I want to showcase those, right now, if we could.
Oh man, that's cool.
explain to me how did you, like, I've always known you to be an artist, and now that you're doing this thing with the shoes, I'm really impressed.
Well, I tell you, Tom, it took me a minute. It took me a minute to remember I was an artist.
Wow.
Real talk.
And if anybody seen his work before, like just on paper, you would want to smack him right now.
It was I had gotten so caught up in life, being dad, responsibilities, and not that art is contrary to that, but I forgot my own passion. Mm-hmm. You know, that which brings me joy.
That definitely
it's
happens.
easy to do.
Yeah.
Than most people
it
think.
happens.
You get caught up in the capitalism. I need to be the breadwinner. I need to make this certain amount of money. I need to, like I said, go here. I need to go to this visit, just see them perform, and you lose yourself if you're not careful. Mm-hmm. And I lost myself, and I was lucky enough to be able to go on a family vacation to celebrate my sister's birthday.
Okay.
You know, and this was, I'm going to say, a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And my nephew, Christopher, and I give him props for all this. He was like, man, he's a sneakerhead. He lives in South Carolina. Shout out to Chris. He was like, man, I'm sitting there talking to my boys, man. We talking about making some moves and doing some big things with the shoes. And we had all these good ideas, and he was like, man, I just wish I knew somebody who could draw. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, man, that's why I called you. He called me while they were having that conversation. He was like, I know somebody who could draw their ass. He was like, you think you could draw on some shoes? And at the time, I was like, draw on some shoes? Man, come on, man, that is beneath me.
It does sound kind of crazy.
Draw on some shoes. Why am I drawing on shoes for? He's like, man, with the sneaker. He was like, I do the sneakers, man. And he was like, the custom game is crazy. And something just was like, check it out. So I started looking at it online. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, yeah, I could do this. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I called him back. I was like, yeah, we gonna get with it. I'll talk to you. Vacation. We started talking. We went on vacation 7 days. You know what I'm saying? We were just building. And at the end of that, I was like, bet, I'm gonna get on it. And he was like, okay, But it was that, he's not going, you know what I'm saying? And what I was doing was steadily, I was just buying supplies. That's it. That's all I did. I spent the whole year.
We know a little bit about that.
That's always part of the hard part of the process.
I spent a whole year buying supplies. You know what I'm saying? Ordering paints, looking at tutorials
and stuff.
You know what I'm saying? And then I hit him up and I was like, I'm ready. And he was like, ready to do what? I was like, I told you I was ready. I was going to do this. He was like, oh, man, I thought you was just, BSing me. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, I'm about to crack people's heads. Mm-hmm. And that's what's up. And I started, and, man, I love it, man. I love it. And what I love is that it reminded me I got skills. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I like to do. And so I have let a job go. I was working 2 jobs, and I was like, man, I need to, for once, and that's why my YouTube channel is gonna be Late Bloomer TV. Mm-hmm. Because I'm 50 years old, man.
Everybody, follow and subscribe.
You know what I'm saying? It's late, but it's not too late.
Yeah.
And to find your passion. And
well,
so
I mean, think about it, dude. It took what Colonel.
Yeah.
He was in his 60s.
Real talk. Real talk.
You know, before anybody would listen to his recipe.
Yeah.
I think they were saying Harrison Ford didn't become a famous actor till he was in his like mid-30s.
Right.
Like he was, or no, it was maybe his 40s.
40s, yeah.
Yeah, Harrison Ford is, people don't know he's 118.
Yeah.
Yeah, like real talk.
And he looks good for 118.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
But, okay.
So, man, I just brought a few examples of shoes that I have are different levels of completedness. I tell you what.
Now, these are restored from previously used and...
Okay. I've got two. I got these Nike. I'm going to try to... I got these. These are my Kaepernicks.
Okay.
My versions of the Kaepernicks. These are restored.
And describe those for me.
These are the Air Force Ones. These are just the basic white on white Air Force Ones.
Low tops?
And, yep, the low top. And I just, I took, Nike just released a Kaepernick Air Force One.
I saw it. And it had
but they're black, and they got the gel soles. They got the, what do they call them? The ice soles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't want my client was like, man, I like those, but first of all, they sold out. You know what I'm saying? And like it's like they sold out like that, and so people bought them up and then started reselling them for stupid amounts of money. I'm like, look, I can make that, Now, so this is a Kaepernick reverse. So instead of all black Air Force Ones, these are white with the black toe box and side panel. And we got a gradiated swoosh on here. It goes from white back to the black. And then I got
I see the Kaepernick on the back. Now, did you draw the Kaepernick yourself?
No.
Oh.
This is how it is on the actual shoe. Okay. So that's a replica.
A replica.
Yeah, a replica. Yeah. And so this is my version. By the time it's finished, I'm going to have, instead of the iced out sole, I'm going to have this part of the midsole dyed. It's going to be like a grayish blue to mimic.
The front part of the sole.
Yeah, to mimic that. So just this part around here, the lower part.
And anybody who's listening to us who are not familiar with the look of an Air Force One, please Google it so you can see.
Should anyone be listening to us that doesn't know what an Air Force One?
Like nowadays, I am.
You don't.
Well, I do now. I can see it right there.
You don't know about Air Force Ones?
Look, I'm wearing Dockers or whatever the heck these are.
Are those Doc Martens?
No.
Oh,
they're Rockports, man.
Oh, Rockports.
Rockports are the deal.
Yeah,
we used to rock Rockports.
Yeah. Rockports got a little shine for a minute.
But if you Google the look of an Air Force One, especially a low top, he has a nice black and white combination, but we definitely suggest you go follow us on YouTube real quick so you can actually see how it looks. I mean, I think that is some of the best hand-to-hand work that I've seen on an Air Force One.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm they all hand painted. Next, I got these.
Maxes?
The Maxes.
Yeah,
the Air Max 90s. These are going to be like they're in a different state of completion. These are going to be Patriot, New England Patriot.
Okay. Even though they
customs.
didn't make it to the.
No, I mean a fan is a fan. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I was mad because that was my second team.
Oh, that.
I'm a Raiders fan.
Wait, you got a second team?
It's only because Brady was.
No, I'm taking
Michigan,
football.
Baby.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I'm always.
Oh, you talking about your NFL team?
Yeah, NFL.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All right. I was about to say. You can't have a second team. People who do that, that's my other team. No, man.
No, I only rock with the Patriots because of
Brady boy.
Brady.
Yeah, Brady is a beast. Okay. I think he sold his soul to the devil.
Easily.
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
the only way you can get the ghost stats nowadays.
I'm pretty sure. He's like, I don't care.
I'm gonna play till I'm 90.
These are the Air Max 90s, red and gray and blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the swoosh on the outside swoosh, I'm going to turn into the Patriot symbol.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to have
I could definitely see
the head at the bottom. Yeah,
okay.
yep. But the head is going to be a skull.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be dope.
Nice. And anybody who's like watching it right now, you know, I've seen the finished product. Like, don't think that it's not done.
Yeah, this is not. I'm not going. If you deal with me, you will not receive a box with shoes that look like this.
I just am amazed that you can paint on a shoe. That I still haven't gotten past that.
That's how I was too. I never
I didn't even like how. Like if I was thinking you like go to the craft store and buy some paint and be like, man, this ain't sticking to this shoe. This sucks. Is it a special type of paint or is it a dye? Or
it's acrylic paint. Okay. They have their brands that are. I use Angelus paints, and they are specifically for leather.
Okay.
There are other paints. Good ones that are Jacquard is good. Golden brand is good, but those are top tier. You know what I mean? Like expensive stuff. Well, and so that's something that, you know, that's a goal of mine to be able to
get to
the highest level. You know what I'm saying?
Quality.
I do. But this stuff will work for now. It's good stuff. You know,
it looks great. I mean, it looks like it just came off the shelf like that. That's why I'm so amazed. I'm like,
that's the point. You want to try to get a factory finish. Mm-hmm. Now this shoe right here is a little. This shoe is a little further in progression because I've painted it and I've also put a matte finish on it, and the matte finish is what takes the shine away. Believe it or not, when it comes to shoes and sneakers, the shine is
kind of like not wanted.
We don't want to shine
unless you have a Jordan like
a patent leather 11, a Jordan 11 or something like that. Some bronze have the patent leather, but you want to try to stay away from the shine. Mm-hmm. So after painting, what I have to do is do finishers, matte finishers, and then matte top coats and stuff like that. Some people, and I'm just going to put this out there, I like Angelus, but they sell their paints separately, and then they sell a duller, which is a matte finish. And you don't really need that. You don't really need a duller.
Oh, okay.
Because one, it breaks down the paint. You know what I'm saying? The durability of the paint. And two, if you have a matte top coat, you know what I'm saying? It's going to take away all the shine. So when I get finished, it's going to look, the point is for it to look factory.
How long does it take you to paint a shoe?
Far too long as an artist. Well, you know what I'm saying? But realistically, in 2 to 3 days.
Per shoe or for the pair?
For the pair.
Because like a lot of people, I have an artistic background, and I don't claim to be an artist of any sort, but like in different ways, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure you know as much as anyone, this stuff takes a lot of time, and people nobody wants to pay you for it.
Nobody.
That's the thing.
That was another catalyst, another big factor in me losing my passion. Mm-hmm. Because people love art. They absolutely love it.
Yeah. Our whole culture thrives on
art. They appreciate it.
And they want it for free.
But they don't want to pay for it. They don't want to pay for it.
Until you're dead.
Until you're dead.
Yeah. It's like the Biggie song, nobody until somebody kills you. You know? So the challenge of an artist that I wasn't taking on is figuring out how to get my art out there.
Well, it sounds like there's a huge market for this.
And this is one, and I was like, that's why I thank my cousin so much. I mean, my nephew so much, because I hadn't thought of this.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of this. And me doing this has led to me doing ladies' shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and even let's just
And
go
then
back
purses.
real fast. Just in our day, somebody would have been clowned for this.
Real talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
real
If you would have
discussion,
sharpied up your shoes.
Yeah, like we would have been clowned
This
for
was,
it. Like
it was
you were-
anti-shoe culture.
What you were supposed to do when you got your shoes, you're supposed to keep them crisp.
Keep them just like they were.
You when you went out, you made sure no one stepped on them, and if they did, you dotted their eye. You know,
Wait, which only messed up your shoes more.
right?
From now you're all bloodied up. Because he stepped on your shoe.
You know, but it just shows the culture change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the progression that you can go.
It's so crazy that I didn't even know there was a shoe culture.
Oh,
That's
man.
why I love coming on Tony's podcast. This is so foreign to me.
Oh, man. Listen, I was a sneakerhead before there was sneakerheads. Okay? There was no... First of all, I feel bad. I'm from Detroit. We don't call them sneakers. Okay? They're gym shoes. You know? But so it's hard for... I had... Like I said, I stayed coordinated. I got my first job at 13. Let me see. You want to know how I got my first job?
Wow.
My dad came home one day and was like, "You got a job. Go to Newport on Monday." Newport was a grocery store. You go after school, you start bagging. And I was like, huh? And that's how I started working. Scroll tip.
That's almost how I did my
He
son.
got me a gig and was like, "You working now." And he was like that because I wanted top 10s. And I wanted, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted Adidas gear, and I wanted to stay dipped. And so he was like, "Okay, we'll go work."
You want that 8-ball jacket.
And man, you stay my Pelly. I wanted, Averex. I wanted stuff like that. And
just Paul, these are very expensive clothings and coats and clothes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, guys.
Well, look, and
Listen, you guys
honestly,
are wearing T-shirts, and I'm wearing a button-down like dress shirt. Okay,
Because
this shows the gap here.
yeah,
are you wearing a button down because you like it?
No, I just came. From
yeah,
work.
he just came from the official all the way money pay
Oh,
job.
well, okay. Okay. But yeah,
living
man.
it there, guys.
My being a sneakerhead wasn't. It's just like when I was into video games. They weren't called gamers. They were called lazy asses.
Nerds.
Yeah. You good for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now the
Now
gamers.
you can make $1 million.
Yeah, now you can make But it's cool. It's cool. But when I was in the shoes, that was the point. The point was not to do anything to them.
Right.
Was to keep them as much like the original as possible. And now this
Customization.
and it's
well,
sweet.
everybody wants to be different now.
I guess that's what it is.
What's this last pair you got? I'm
Yeah,
interested.
man.
This has got some sweet stuff on it.
Boy, these some Timbos.
Okay,
I'm excited for him to introduce these.
These are the Wreck Room Remixes, Timberland signatures. Now, it's a basic Timberland. It's not the premium. It's I want to call it a Timberland Chucker. I think it might be.
I only know premium.
Yeah, they
have.
have.
If I'm gonna go Tim, I'm gonna go premium.
Damn.
Look, a little bit of shade.
He just gave me the snotty face and everything. Like, I don't know anything about that.
Excuse me, peasant.
Yes, you're a plebeian Berber serf. Well,
Oh man.
I got these because I got them on a great deal. They were
Hey,
great.
I ain't
They were a
mad
great
at
deal.
it,
I was
bro.
like, man, I can hook these
That's
up.
because you're an artist and you're thrifty.
Yeah, I
feel
am
that.
thrifty.
Heck yeah.
But they're called the signature because what I have on here is this says Berserk and that's my graffiti tag.
Oh, that's cool.
So as a graffiti artist, that's what I do.
And what exact colors are those? Because I don't want to say, cause it's like a blue and a pinkish type of thing.
I'm not a color dude. Like okay,
it's
good. Light blue
because I didn't want to disrespect. That's what it looks like to me.
It's light blue,
like a sky.
I would call that pink and blue and red.
Yeah,
sure.
What I'm loving though is what you did to the tree, to the timber tree.
Yeah. It gets
like you. Hey. I mean, the tree itself is pink, and then you have the blue and black surrounding it.
Then I hit him on the tongue.
Oh, you
know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tongue.
A little extra.
The tongue has some color in it with the Timberland and the little tree in there. So again, guys, please Google what a Timberland looks like if you're not. And this is the traditional wheat.
Okay,
color.
I even know that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You
just making sure. I don't know anymore.
For all the clueless people out there, that's a boot.
You know that, right? But the history of because I was like, I wanted to look it up and what made Timberland so. Because when I get regular work boots, my kids are like, what you got? Daddy, you wearing those fake Timberlands? I'm like, Timberland didn't invent the work boot.
And they actually did. When the facts come back.
I don't think they invented it, but what they did was start, they
mass produced it.
Waterproof. It was waterproofing that made it.
Okay.
And Timberland, I thought was like like real old, but Timberland started in the 70s.
I was gonna say that, in around that time.
So I'm thinking back in 1942 during the great
John H. Timberland created the Timberland boot.
Right.
For the forest worker.
Right. So these are the signatures on the inside. Oh, and this has my fine art signature.
Oh, nice.
So that says Bret. And then
man,
on the inside,
I like the color contrast.
That says Wreck Room.
That's dope.
I don't know
when they're both put together, it says Wreck Room with the inside. So you got to kind of do the duck walk.
Yeah. You got to what I was thinking about prison poses. Or cabaret poses,
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? When you taking your picture and you stop,
same thing.
It's about
some of those.
So when you're taking you keep your feet out, and I'm like, okay, we gonna rock it like that, okay.
No,
and,
that's real good.
On the front,
show me again that this is my favorite one though.
The front,
the right one, the left one. Yep, that one right there. Flip it. That's my favorite color is green. My mom's favorite color is blue, and you gotta mix together. And the tree is green.
Yeah. That's
with the blue water.
That's my fine art.
And for those listening, both sides of the boot have different color contrasts. So one's like this pink, pink, blue, red, and the other side, the exact opposite side, is this green, blue.
It's you couldn't do that vibe. Either. They would laugh at you
dude,
your shoes ain't matched up.
The times have changed so much.
We would have been chased home
easily. They would have took our boots just to throw them away.
He's fashion.
Get those out of here.
That's hilarious. You steal somebody's boots to throw them away. Get out of here.
I don't want to see that anymore.
Get that guy. He's fashionably challenged.
Dude, I actually have a pair of Vans that are completely opposite. So we're going to talk about that next time. But hey, I appreciate having you on.
Man, you
give us some.
You my dude, man. I had a blast. I might be calling you and just be like, hey, can I come up? Can I come up and talk
man,
on
I learned a ton. I was introduced to a whole
talk on the
new
microphone
world.
too?
Hey, when's your podcast coming out? Come on, that YouTube channel's that's popping. What's it called? What's your YouTube channel?
Come on,
Late Bloomer TV. Late Bloomer TV. My company is Wreck Room Remixes. I've got Instagram. It is Wreck Room Remixes.
We'll throw it up there.
Definitely.
I'm on Facebook, Wreck Room Remixes. I thought I was under Wreck Room Remixes on TikTok, but my children.
Don't worry about that. We'll just make sure it's up
We'll
there.
throw the logos up.
We'll throw it all up.
We do this all day long.
Hey, all the time. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us again.
Man, good luck.
We love you all. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Paul.
Welcome.
Friends for Life out.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this episode of the Friends for Life podcast here on YouTube. If you can, go down below and hit that subscribe button and help us out with growing our channel. I want to take a minute to thank Brett for coming on and having an awesome conversation with Tony and myself, and for showing off the custom work that he does. It's really cool to see someone, find their passion again in life. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all again next time.